You should be able to see my screen now. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's Quantum Leadership session. My name is Mila Korunovska. I'm the Marketing Event Manager at QBN, and I'm very happy to be able to moderate today's insightful event. We are especially excited because we are kicking off the Autumn Quantum Leadership Series with a focus on the Asia Pacific quantum landscape. This is the very first time where our new QBN APAC community has the opportunity to basically take the stage, and it's really fantastic to have you all here with us. The Asia Pacific quantum landscape is particularly important because it holds valuable business and collaboration opportunities, and the region is really recognized for its strong corporate commitment, significant government investment, which together create really big momentum for innovation and partnerships. And that makes today's session really a unique opportunity to understand how Europe and APAC can connect, collaborate, and grow together. Let me quickly outline the agenda for today. I will begin by introducing QBN very briefly, and then we'll hand over to Raghu, who is our QBN APAC lead, who will present the QBN APAC chapter, walk us through the Asia-Pacific quantum landscape, and highlight its opportunities. And after that, we'll move on to our valued speakers, each followed by time for Q&A. So for those of you who may be new to us, QBN is the leading global network for quantum technologies. Founded in 2020, we've really grown to more than 100 members worldwide, from startups and SMEs to really global key players, research institutes, investors, and governments. And our community really spans the entire spectrum of quantum, from computing, sensing, communication, cybersecurity, to enabling technologies like photonics and diamond platforms. And we act as a one-stop shop for the quantum industry, basically connecting stakeholders, accelerating adoption, shaping policies, and supporting commercialization. And our mission is really clear: to make Europe and the Asia-Pacific region global powerhouses in quantum. So ultimately, quantum technologies are the driver of competitiveness, sovereignty, and sustainable economic growth. So let me briefly outline our services, which revolve around two main pillars: the Global Industry Network and the Business Consultancy Services. So through the Global Industry Network, we connect members to business and collaboration partners through targeted matchmaking. And then through lobbying, we advocate for quantum technologies in politics and public life, helping shape supportive strategies and policies. We also provide fast access to funding by leveraging our investor network and public programs. And we also run 5 technical working groups, which are platforms where members share knowledge, tackle problems and challenges together, and really jointly drive adoption. We also increase the visibility by promoting our members' innovations worldwide through our channels, and we organize the QBN Business Forum, where leaders share practical know-how on topics like IP, sales, investment, and entrepreneurship. We also maintain the Intelligent Hub full of reports, valuable data, videos, and further insights on the quantum technology. And on the business consultancy services side, we provide strategy workshops, due diligence and investment advisory, business and use case development, support in fundraising and partnerships, and also tailored consulting for governments and corporates. And again, at the heart of it, as previously mentioned, our mission is to really strengthen Europe and the Asia Pacific as the centers of global quantum competitiveness, security, and growth. I would say that one of our main strengths is the diversity of the membership. We welcome organizations of all types and sizes, from large companies and large corporates to startups, research institutions, universities, government agencies, investors, and accelerators. And we cover the full value chain, from really hardware and software vendors, material and component suppliers, to researchers, investors, and of course, very importantly, end users. And while QBN was born in Europe, we've recently expanded to the Asia Pacific, one of the most dynamic regions for quantum technologies, which I would say that this international dimension really ensures our member benefit from a truly global network. Here is a brief representation of our members where you can see all of their logos. Again, this slide really represents the vibrant community of innovators, researchers, investors, and policy makers. And this diversity, I would say, is exactly what makes QBN unique. Again, we connect the entire ecosystem. Most recently, we also formed our new advisory board to really guide our strategic direction. And this board brings together 7 highly respected leaders from across the international quantum community, from startups and scale-ups to global players. And so their role is to help accelerate commercialization and adoption while ensuring we deliver maximum value to our members. And alongside also the advisory board, we have our expert committee made up of the 4 of our working group leaders. So together they provide cutting-edge technological and market insights, keeping QBN at the forefront of the industry. On the next slide, I would just briefly present some of the success stories. In just really a few years, QBN has already created significant impact. We've initiated countless partnerships, arranged over 200 million of euros in funding, and built online global reach of more than 20,000 followers across our channels. And we've strengthened government relations and positioned quantum really as a strategic industry, I would say. And looking ahead, our 2025 priorities are clear. We will support end users because adoption drives really the whole ecosystem. Secondly, we will also enable growth investment to scale startups and SMEs. And third, we will continue to shape future-proof strategies to ensure long-term competitiveness. Here, I would like to briefly mention the next upcoming QLS sessions. The first one will take place on the 21st of October. This session really explores the evolving quantum computing landscape and its relevance for both businesses and supercomputing centers, with a look at hardware, access models, and adoption roadmaps. Then on the 4th of November, we'll host the quantum computing in logistics, manufacturing, and healthcare. So this session will focus on early applications of quantum, from improving supply chains to defect detection in production to supporting medical imaging and diagnostics. So both sessions are free to join, publicly available, and I warmly encourage you to go on our website and already register for these events. And the next work group meeting, actually, which is only for QBN members, this one will take place on the 6th of November in Amsterdam. This is the working group on quantum computing and applications, and it will focus on the role of hardware in advancing fault-tolerant quantum computing. This will be a full day gathering of experts and industry leaders. So if you're interested, please visit our website once again. And really, as a final slide, I would like to invite you to follow us on our website, LinkedIn, and YouTube to stay connected, learn more about QBN, and really also contact us. So I would really close with the motto of let's build a resilient and sustainable quantum economy together. Thank you very much for your attention. And with that, I would like to hand over to our QBN APAC lead, Raghu.
Right, let's build a resilient and sustainable quantum economy together from Asia. So yeah, let me share some slides. Just give me a second. Thanks, Mila. Let me know once the screen and the slides work, and then I can get started.
Yes, we can see the presentation, but it's not in share mode. Yeah, perfect.
Right. Hello, everyone. I would assume we have worked together, at least with most of you artists attending today. So my name is Raghunath Kodvayor. I'm the Asia Pacific lead for QBN. Been in the quantum industry for a while, commercializing quantum, but I'm also the chief executive officer of a quantum company called Rax Quantum, headquartered in Singapore, and also an adjunct fellow at Singapore University of Technology and Design. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and in this first quantum leadership session around Asia Pacific. And we will definitely have many, many more such briefings and such calls. I have two different hats here. Today, I would like in the first call, like first presentation, I'll put on the Asia Pacific lead So I'll present more on the Asia Pacific. And then about the company itself, our Rax Quantum, I'll present in the members update later on in the call. On Asia, if you look at it, a slide which is very popular, right? I'm inspired from Cureka and McKinsey. If you look at the numbers, we have over 50 billion, which has already been announced overall globally in quantum. And if you look at Asia, it's slowly warming up, right from Philippines to Taiwan to Singapore, Thailand, India, Australia. The countries with their national ecosystems have actually started announcing the national funding. And this makes it interesting because once the market like Europe and maybe when US saturates, yeah, Asia Pacific is a big opportunity because of the size of the market and also the kind of funding that you will be able to receive. So there is momentum in Asia. Being in Singapore, I see it each and every day. Right now, we are conducting a training in Singapore University of Technology and Design. Over 40 people have signed up, paying $2,000 each to attend a 2-day program. So there is enough interest to learn about quantum, which is part of the culture, but also in terms of the technology, there is interest, but also in terms of government funding, there's enough funding coming in. Asian countries are also catching up fast with the national quantum strategies. If you think about the similar presentation maybe a couple of years ago, there were not that many Asian countries with quantum strategies, maybe the Australia, maybe India, maybe Singapore, Japan. So you could piggyback or you can pick few select countries. But now more and more Asian countries are announcing their quantum strategies and also quantum strategic partnerships, which can also be seen in the number of startups that are coming up from Asia. Even in the last year, there has been a significantly high number from Asia. This is similar trend. If you look at Europe, Europe also has similar trend, but it's a risk for Europe because there are more and more new startups coming up, not exactly the current ones growing faster. Not all current startups growing faster. While in Asia, I think we are mirroring where Europe was maybe say 5 years ago. You can also see with the public funding. So Japan is leading the way with over 7 billion announced. And there's also quantum funding from South Korea, Australia, India, Singapore, and also smaller ones from other countries. So in the next few slides, what I will show you is the opportunity. Why is Asia such a big opportunity? What do we see on the ground? And also maybe then also take few questions in terms of if you have any partnership needs or if you're looking to enter the market or if you're looking for customers, talent, let me know and I can also answer specific questions about specific markets. Maybe first thing about introduction to the quantum tech in APAC. So Singapore, Japan, Australia, and South Korea, I think these four markets in my observation have been early movers with countries like Singapore also establishing Center for Quantum Technologies. And they also trained a generation of quantum scientists. So if you pick markets like Europe, you would see a lot of quantum scientists who have been trained in one of these markets and who have spent a lot of time here. So that has been the case with the mature markets of these four. But then Malaysia has launched its first quantum computing center, also in partnership with a uh, partner in a system integrator and a hardware partner. Thailand has announced a dedicated quantum technology roadmap 2020 to 2029 and also has a key research institute which is driving that forward. Indonesia has also established the BRIN Research for Quantum Physics to build local expertise. And also the known quantum strategies, if you look at it, India is widely quoted in many different articles as a national quantum mission, and it was approved in 23. And now they have also identified the quantum thematic hubs and others, which I will share in the coming slide. So Indian quantum mission has also gone on to the execution phase with also several partnerships. I would say even in this month, there were two partnerships with Rigetti and Quantware already announced with CDAC, which is the Center for Advanced Computing in India. Japan also has a quantum strategy and also has announced a quantum future vision of the future city. South Korea has unveiled its quantum strategy around the national strategic plan. Then Singapore announced its national quantum strategy. China does not have a specific national quantum strategy, but it is part of the Made in China strategy and the 14th five-year plan. And Australia has published its national quantum strategy. So what it shows is there are countries in Asia which are now becoming serious with their quantum strategies and also putting in some funding along with it. Some of the other countries which do not have a quantum strategy but have quantum initiatives, if you can call it. So this is where we see the opportunity that they will soon start having their own quantum strategies with dedicated funding. Malaysia, for example, has something called its goal to become the ASEAN's quantum hub by 2035. Indonesia. Indonesia is pursuing a lot of initiatives around quantum readiness, but there's no quantum strategy at this point in time. But we do know that they are working on a new data center, which is quantum AI data center. Vietnam has not again specified any quantum strategy, but Vietnam has the VN Quantum Initiative, which shows that again they are building on a quantum network approach before they start the quantum strategy. Philippines also does not have a formal quantum strategy, but they have something called Quantum and Intelligence System Lab for Power Engineering. So what it again shows is that there are some countries on one side of the spectrum which has national quantum strategies, others who have national quantum initiatives. They are preparing for the national quantum strategies. And if I were you, I would be looking at these as opportunities on how do we get engaged, depending on what you offer. If it's the hardware, if it's the lab, then you might be working with already the mature quantum strategies in national quantum strategy countries which have the national quantum strategy, while you will also be then looking at it as an opportunity to influence some of the other markets on how they can get started on the quantum strategy and why your hardware plays a role or enables the quantum strategy objectives. So that would be the opportunity that I would see. But having said about the quantum strategy, I was also looking at what do we have in terms of universities. And most of these universities we engage with on a day-to-day basis. So in Singapore, there are many quantum strategy programs available with universities, including with National University of Singapore, Nanyang Tech University, as well as Singapore University of Technology and Design. Malaysia again have as UTM, University of Putra Malaysia, Malaya. They three have the as the quantum program in some form. Some focusing on the algorithms, others focusing on Center for AI, and different ones focusing on photonics and then cryptography. South Korea, again, there are many, a long list, but at least a couple of them which we can see, especially with their collaboration also with IBM, is Yonsei University. Thailand has again quite a few universities which are very interested. We were in Thailand last month, and there is enough interest that the universities want to pick it up, want to also set up their own labs, want to have some kind of a hardware support. So, including SUT University, Chiang Mai, which is one of the leading universities which works on experiments on quantum simulation. So you can see that there is a mix of hardware, mix of algorithms, and mix of also simulation universities that are coming up in this part of the region. Indonesia has this list, and also Japan with the University of Tokyo, RIKEN, which is very well known. So there's a strong push towards university and research organizations. University of Tokyo is very interesting because they have partnered with IBM to train 40,000 students for the quantum workforce. And Japan has publicly announced that their target is to have 10 million quantum users by 2030. That is a bold ambition again from Asia coming in, where you will also have the quantum consumer base or customer base if you are providing any of those services. In India, it's again very interesting because there are many universities, as you can imagine, a country as large as India with quantum programs. But as part of the National Quantum Mission, there are four thematic hubs. So there are four universities that have been appointed to lead and facilitate the entire quantum initiatives. One of them being for quantum computing, it is IISc Bangalore, quantum communication being IIT Madras or IIT Chennai, quantum sensing being IIT Mumbai, and quantum materials and devices from Delhi. So there are universities which have been appointed to lead and facilitate this national quantum mission, which is then responsible for the $1 billion funding that has been given. Australia, again, a long list of universities, but several ones which are very reputed research groups that are working on it. And then now University of Queensland is also funding new funding for several new projects. I just wanted to give a snapshot on how a Asian quantum system looks. And this is how Singapore looks, where I'm joining you today from. And you can see that Singapore is playing across all verticals. There are small startups. There's another QBN founding member for Asia, Horizon Quantum, which has just announced their plans to go IPO with SPAC approach of $500 million, so $500 million. So there are small and large startups, but there are many different organizations as research partners, enablers, incubators, and also government organizations that are willing to support. So why should European companies target Asia Pacific now? I can go on with a long list. Having been here from Asia, I think it is a long list, but it's a high growth, multi-billion dollar market, significant government investments and national strategies. So what I also want to highlight is there will be funding. It will be a slow process, but there is enough funding coming in because once Asian markets decide to invest in quantum or invest in any technology, they go all in. So now is the time when we see the interest peaking. So there is an opportunity for companies to enter emerging innovation hubs. So there is a strong academic base. So now there's a lot of computer engineers and also maybe there are a lot of physics majors who are slowly migrating towards quantum and they see that as a viable career opportunity. And especially we see Seoul, Tokyo, and Singapore emerging as the leading hubs for quantum. There are strong strategic partnerships. Asian nations have strong partnerships with Europe as well as with the US. That could be also an opportunity for your companies to partner. Also, if you're a talent who's looking for opportunities, jobs in Asia, then there's also equally good opportunities coming up here. And industries, mainly maritime industry, manufacturing, logistics, financial services, Hong Kong, Singapore, they're all looking at quantum and quantum use cases. So there's also an opportunity for applications companies to get in and compete or left behind. So major players like Quantinuum, IBM, Rigetti, they all have already announced their plans to expand with quantum initiatives, quantum partnerships in this part of the world. So if you are not playing the game, if you're not participating in that, then you definitely are losing out. Maybe the last couple of slides. So how to succeed in Asia Pacific. So this is where I preach, right? I preach show off my Asian maybe cultural understanding that it's an emphasis on people, so relationships and playing the long game. So unlike Europe or to an extent US, so I lived in Europe for 15 years, as many of you know. There you can still make a deal over Zoom. Once in a while, you can pull off closing a sale over Zoom, but it's not going to happen in Asia. In Asia, relationships matter, trust matters. So being present and being consistent matters in local engagement. Local networks matter. How do you contribute? How do you build on the cultural understanding matters? It requires time, it requires patience because Asia, we can't paint it in one brush. It's almost half of the population of the world, and they are large countries. So, about 20 countries, 19, 20 countries. So, you will need to play the long term game. You need to be present and you need to know, have patience for it. And it is diverse. So, I would also mention that prioritize, select your markets, and enter the Asia Pacific market at the right time with the right partners. And that is where QBN APAC comes in. We are a chapter, we are a small chapter, unlike the QBN Global, but we have all the powerhouse. We have Mila and the team, Johannes and team supporting us to build it front. So that was the vision when we started QBN APAC, founded this year to become the premium network for business leaders and in Asia and in Europe to come together, or even worldwide to come together. We want to be the bridge between Asia Pacific and Europe and we have three founding members, including QTFT Thailand. Jirawat will soon speak about QTFT, also Horizon Quantum and Drax Quantum being the founding members. And there is also a discount if you are a QBN Global member, then you get 50% off for your QBN Asia Pacific membership. So this is a time for you to act, become QBN APAC members, and we will have select working groups. We have a lot more introductions that we can make, and we can also support you in your Asia Pacific journey. 100 plus members. We do hope to see a similar list from Asia Pacific maybe in the next couple of years' time. With that optimistic note, thank you. Here are my contact details if you want to reach out on QBN Asia Pacific or anything related to APAC. I'll give back to Mila if there are any questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Raghu, for this very detailed presentation of the APAC quantum ecosystem and the APAC QBN chapter. Let me have a look. So far, I see no questions. Do we have any questions from our panelists, maybe? Or not at the moment. Not at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on the live chats.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much once again. We'll now move into our lineup of speakers. Each one will share their work, their perspectives, and their vision for quantum in the region and beyond. After each talk, we'll have about 5 minutes for Q&A, so please feel free to drop your questions in the chat here in Zoom or in the YouTube live comment section. So our first speaker for today from the QBN APAC members is from Akira Tanaka, Managing Director for APAC at Classic. Akira will share insights under the theme Classic and the Three Whys, giving us a perspective of how Classic is approaching quantum software in the APAC region. So Akira, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you for inviting me today. I am going to spend about 10 minutes talk about Classic. And let's get started. Start with my quick introduction. So my name is Akira Tanaka, based in Tokyo. I'm a managing director for APAC. I joined the company about 2 years ago as a GM for Japan, actually, and I got promoted to APAC MD. Before that, I was working for another company in Tel Aviv, similar web, for about 6 years. And before that, I worked for Newton. It's a New York-based company, based in New York company. Then before that, I assumed Microsoft as head of Skype, and I spent about 8 years at Google. So I basically come from a go-to-market background and try to make the monetization successful in APAC. So this is basically well-known news already, I hope. We completed that $110 million round C investment this year, and this brings up to $173 million for the fundraising fund. And this is the largest investment in quantum software. So this gives us a lots of opportunity to grow in APAC. So just a little bit of the introduction of the company. So Classic, we want to be the OS, operating system of the quantum. The company was founded May 2020, for about 5 years ago. And after the Japan office was established in September 2023. And we have about closer to already 100 people after the found. But then we basically have an office, different office, and Tel Aviv is the headquarters, obviously, but we have a Tokyo largest office outside Tel Aviv, about 10 people end of the year. And actually, we have an office in front of Tokyo Station. So I think so many people are coming to Tokyo these days. So if you happen to be in Tokyo, please swing by.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Akira. Do
Yes.
you have slides maybe to share? Because we don't see
Oh,
your screen.
sorry. Sorry for technical issues.
No problem at
Can you see
all.
it? Okay, great. So
No,
thank you.
we still don't see them. I think you need to share your screen on Zoom.
Okay, let me see. Is this okay?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Is this okay?
Yes, one moment. Okay, so now we see the screen, indeed.
All right, great. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay, so start with the APAC operations. So as Raghu said, there are so many countries in APAC, and obviously we cannot, go to all of the countries at once. So we basically prioritize the countries based on the business opportunities. And still we are analyzing some of the countries, but we basically decided to put our resource in 3, 4 countries already. Japan is obviously one because we started a business from Japan, then South Korea, and Singapore and India. And we are now investigating 3 countries, Australia and Thailand and Taiwan. These are the 3 countries we are now currently reviewing in terms of the growth opportunities for 2026. So moving to what is Classic. So basically, we want to be a gateway to quantum programming. So we're in a good position because we basically have lots of enterprise customers already. And also we have lots of modalities, quantum computers and the simulators, and also the high, HPCs connected to backend. So we basically have a kind of a sandwich between the end users and modalities. So we want to be the core operating system of the quantum ecosystem. So this is one of the some of the captures from our actual UI, and this is the ID. We call it IDE, but this is more like novice users. And basically, you can come to the system. It's basically software as a service, and then start a project and the programming, then analyze your circuits, then execute. These are the kind of the process end to end, and we basically provide end-to-end solutions. And this is another UI we just released this year. This is more advanced users because with this UI, basically you can run other languages in one single environment. Look at this Penny Lane and Ticket and Qiskit. You can basically work with them together with QMode, our own language. And we have lots of largest application libraries access to be from this UI. And so this is for more professional users and give you lots of flexibilities. So why Classic? Why you have to use Classic instead of others? So basically, when you look at the current quantum computing, we basically identified 3 challenges. One is a low-level language, and low-level language very difficult to learn, and also a slow modeling because you have to play with each qubit. And you have to basically spend lots of time on the moving pieces of qubits instead of modeling. Challenge number 2 is a limitation. Obviously, currently we only have like a 20, 30, 40, even like a qubits. But obviously, we expect to grow this number of qubits to hundreds and 1,000 qubits in the future. So obviously, it is not possible, especially for human beings, to play with these so many qubits. And that is one. Also, so that is one. And also, the optimization is so totally difficult. So we will explain more. And obviously, challenge number 3, hardware adaptability. This is since you have so many modality vendors, like partners, so you have a different kind of computers, like superconducting and called atom, you name it. So basically, you have to support all of the hardwares at this point in time. And so this is a challenge. So for those 3 challenges, we basically provide, this is solution number 1. We basically provide a QMode, our own language. And this gives you a much easier interface and also the accelerate the DX digital transfer to a quantum transfer talent shift. This is kind of the part of the reskilling of the existing engineers. Also, focus on the models. Obviously, instead of moving of the each qubits, you basically focus on algorithms in programming itself. So much easier to play with. So just for your example, if you do the left and the right, the above is a low-level language. This is written in low-level language, but with our QMode language, it's much easier, only 4-5 lines, and easy to understand, also easy to debug. Right. So solution number 2. So limitation manual work. We basically provide 2 big benefits. One, automation. And the second is circuit optimization. And basically, we can provide with QMode, by the way, with QMode, we basically automatically generate circuits for you. So you don't worry about too much. And also that to do that, we basically combine circuit optimizations. This is going to be a big deal because everybody now try to optimize circuits, quantum circuits manually, but we basically automate all of the steps by ourselves. And the last one, the classic solution number 3. So this is hardware agnostic execution. So basically, again, there are so many modalities and simulators, also HPCs. So we basically support all of the modalities. Once you write something, you basically, that code you already created can be used with different modalities. So you don't have to rewrite anything from scratch. So that makes it easier to do a benchmarking, for example. So this is a big deal, especially for engineers, because they still like playing with all different modalities. And so this is going to be a big benefits out of it. So next two slides is more like a summary. First, again, the top, the traditional tools, you basically step one by one. You basically do a modeling, create circuit, and the circuit optimization, then followed by optimization. Then you basically transpile. So you have to deal with first four buckets manually. But with Classic, you basically only focus on modeling. First bucket. Even like we are adding AI assistant for it. So it's much, much easier to create something. And the next three buckets, creating circuits, optimization for circuit and hardware, that is will be automatically done by us. So you don't worry about too much. So this is going to be a big deal. So summary for Y Classic, optimization is one, and the Q mode, we provide the Q mode as a language, and automated circuit synthesis, and hardware agnostic. So basically, based on the market speculation, by 2029 or even 2030, we basically have something significant for quantum advantage. But I think we believe Classic will give you another year or two ahead of them with all of these new benefits with this platform. So I think this is going to be a reason why you start with Classic. All right. Then next step is a use case. So we basically just quickly share some of the huge engagement models. One is you just look at it: HPE, BMW, NVIDIA, Mathematica, Microsoft, City and AWS, and Rolls-Royce, and Ichirov Hospital in Tel Aviv. So basically, since we have global presence, we have so many POCs. And this is some of the POCs already we have done. And since I'm from Tokyo, I pick up Japanese use case, especially most recently. So we did 3 POCs recently, and everything provided optimization for the circuits. First one is Mitsubishi Chemical and Deloitte. And second one, middle one is Mizuho Financial Technology and Sumitomo for financial use case. And third one is the SoftBank. And everything after they basically did all of the POCs and found that circuits has been compressed, deducted by 90%. This is going to be huge. So this gives you saving time, improving quality, and reducing the cost. So this is one more slide talking about again the circuit size and accuracy and the cost reduction. Especially the cost reduction is something we want to focus on, because with the smaller circuits, you don't have to spend too much money on the usage of the modalities. So this gives you a lot of ROI arguments going forward. Right. So I'm switching to a little bit business side. So basically, this is kind of the ecosystem we want to try. And we have lots of different players on the ecosystem, and we basically sit in the middle of it as a Classic platform. So, and we basically have lots of engagement models. PEP is a partner enablement program. This is more like education system. And the POC, this is already known, proof of concept project, and we basically co-creation project as well. This is something more tightly work together with the prospects, even like writing a paper together. And OEM, white label, this is another engagement model with the modality vendors. And obviously, we are SaaS. So we basically provide SaaS license as well. So this is basically a very, very, very basic models. And we basically have lots of different tastes of these models. So please come to us so we can discuss. Right. So end of the day, we are looking for partners. We don't want to grow by ourselves. We want to grow together with the partners. So basically, I put 4 different kind of personas, partners. One is enterprise customers. Obviously, it's obvious. And quantum hardware is another one. It's we want to be connected with the major hardwares. And third one is the system integrators and the consultancies. This is important because it's there is obviously different tastes, different flavors in each region, and we would like to identify the local partner in each region to work with. And we do not want to hire 100 people on site. Instead, we like to find a right partner to work with the work on our business locally. So this is very important. And obviously the government, because lots of budget. So we like to get some of the budget together with partners. So this is kind of what we want to do. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Akira, for that insightful presentation. Let's now take a few minutes for questions. There are no questions in the comment box, but I would like to ask you a question for myself. So looking ahead, which emerging applications or industries in APAC do you think we will see in the earliest meaningful impact from classics quantum software, and why?
Yes, so basically every region have a different taste. For example, Japan, chemistry is kind of the focus. So we have lots of, not a lot, but several major chemistry-related companies, and they are doing POCs. That is number one. And Australia and Singapore, obviously the finance is heading the use case and the POCs. So we have a different, again, even within the APAC, we have a different flavors. So that is why we like to partner with the local, local partner to work with. And also with our solution, we basically provide lots of advantages, and obviously optimization is one to try to get the benefits from smaller FTQC machine or smaller machines, because we basically we don't need too much resource because we have a compression in place and try to produce smaller circuits. So that gives you a benefit from the existing quantum computers.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I see Raghu has raised his hand as well.
Yeah, so thank you, Akira-san. This is fantastic because I've been following Classic's journey for a while. Obviously, the growth on the product side, but it's also great to see the maturity in terms of your go-to-market channels and the strategy, the way you're identifying partners and so on. So very well done on that. Maybe a question for you would be, there are a lot of European members who will listen to this call now and in the future. So if they are partnering, like if they want to enter into these markets, say Singapore, Taiwan, or Japan, or Korea, what would be your advice, not just as Classic, but others? And second one is in Europe, like if there are European members, are there any partnerships that they can look forward with you? Because I don't think you will be looking for channel partners in Europe, but will you have any applications partners or any other companies that can partner with you?
Yes. So, what is your first question? I got second question.
The first question was, if there are European players who are listening in, what would be your suggestion to enter the Asian market from your experience?
You already covered, in your session, basically. So, that takes some time, and also you have to be patient. You have to create a relationship with the local entities and local partners. And I think that is what we are going to do. And we try to be present in a region instead of having a Zoom. So I think so that's why I'm very busy traveling within APAC, meeting with people, try to be connected with stakeholders in each region. That is very, very important. Even like take some time, some investments, but that's what you need. And the second question, I forgot second question. What is it?
The second question was, can applications companies also partner with you? You did mention about hardware partners and others, but can
Yes.
companies which are working on applications partner with you?
Yes, actually, we are working on one company in South Korea actually, and we basically provide platform, and potential partner can provide engineering resource. So together we basically go to prospect, and so that is a model we are now implementing too as well. So everything is possible. So it just just come to me and try to do some debate and discussions and come up to some ideas. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. That's my mindset.
Like that more mantra of anything and everything is possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me have a look. Any more questions? I don't see further questions. So thank you very much again, Akira, for this insightful and detailed presentation. So we are now ready to move to our next speaker, who is Jirawat Tangpanitanon, the CEO and co-founder of the Quantum Technology Foundation in Thailand. Then Jirawat will talk about production level quantum optimization, benchmarking, complex business operations, which is, I would say, a crucial step in connecting quantum to real world industry needs. So Jirawat, the stage is yours. Thank you very much.
Hello, nice to meet you. Let me share my screen. So
Yeah.
can you hear me all right?
Yeah,
Oops.
we can.
Right. So my internet can be a little bit unstable because I'm in China at the moment. I supposed to fly to Malaysia actually yesterday, but the airport closed down because of the typhoons, and so I'm kind of stuck in Guangzhou. Right. So let me briefly talk about my company, QTFT, Quantum Technology Foundation, Thailand. So we are a group of physicists, and we founded in 2020, and our companies focus on optimizations of what we call complex enterprise networks using both digital and quantum technologies. Well, I forgot to introduce myself. So yes, my name is Jirawat. Well, as a physicist, historically, so I did my bachelor and master in UK, in University of Cambridge, and then did my PhD in Center for Quantum Technologies in Singapore, and my PhD was on quantum algorithms on superconducting systems, but I'm a theorist. And so now our team has around 20 researchers with us, around 10 PhD. They are like Thai scholars who graduated from various universities around the world. And we've been working with, actually this list is a bit outdated. We're working with Fujitsu, IBM and Microsoft, as actually KPMG as well, and various universities and media in Thailand. Let me. So here is kind of my vision of the impact on quantum computing on like real world industry. So of course there are many possible use cases with chemistry and so on, right? But this is something that I think is resonate a lot with the businesses here in Thailand, and I believe in many countries in Southeast Asia as well. And the problem is basically how to optimize supply chain as a whole. because usually when we talk about large business in Thailand, it will look like the one on the left, where they consist of many subsystem or sub business units, if you like. Like maybe system A is the logistic team, system B is the production team, and so on. And usually the organization has performed like a digital transformation. They have data warehouse in place, but when it comes to this decision making, it's usually manual, so it's inefficient. And our vision is to have kind of a conductor for this musical band, and we call this conductor as a system of systems optimizations, where it bring in business logic from all business units and then optimize all together at the same time to provide the best solution for the entire supply chain. And well, theoretically speaking, this system would require a lot of computational power. So we can start with CPU. If CPU is not enough, then we can explore GPU. If GPU is not enough, then we explore QPU, or quantum processing unit, as you know it. So the way we approach our customer is that we don't go to the customer and say, would you like some quantum in it? Because we know that the quantum is not fully ready yet, in the sense that it doesn't provide like a immediate ROI, compared to digital computing or like Gurabit and so on. Yes, one can argue that these companies should start exploring some POC of quantum and so on. But to be honest, I think that approach is not sustainable, at least in Thailand, because the companies, they don't have the kind of the culture of long-term R&D. So if they do something POC for 1 or 2 years, but then after that they don't see business results, they would not continue. So it's very important to us to put the business first, not the quantum first. So that's why we come up with this framework to focus on the optimization model that work for the customers, and try to figure out whatever best computing engine to solve this problem. If it's digital, so be it. If it's quantum, and so be it. So I will walk you through some of the use case that we been working on in Thailand. Or I forgot to mention that one of the main mathematical models that we are working on is a category theory. Try to kind of formalize various business logics into the same mathematical framework. So I don't have time to go through the detail, and actually we haven't published anything much on this, but we fund a PhD program in the university to work on this problem, and we got some good results recently. So we should be able to publish this framework soon. So the talk today is more on like the use case rather than the technical part. This is, for example, one of our customer, SCG Chemical, is the largest petrochemical companies in Thailand. Its supply chains contain a lot of factories and logistics and inventories, so on. And the companies want each manufacturing plant have their own optimization tools already, but the problem is how to optimize the entire supply chain as a whole. So they try it themselves first, where usually their model run very fast, like a few minutes when it run on one manufacturing plant. But when they start to combine, let's say 3 or 4 manufacturing plants, the computational time explode to like a few days. So that's why they come to us whether we can help them or not. And yes, we did help them, but the speed up part is more on like a remodeling of the mathematical models, and we add some QBO as part of that model as well. And we solved it in this project with the Microsoft Quantum Inspire solver, and we can bring down the entire calculation time to a few minutes. So this is still quantum inspired, so nothing on the real device yet. And this one is kind of a hybrid. So it's a logistic optimization of convenience stores in Bangkok and nearby area. Around 6,000 of them has been using our system on the daily basis. So the digital part of this platform has been on production for 2 years now. So every day the customer would come in, submit the orders to our engine, and then our engine will perform some sort of route optimizations and then send back the result to the drivers, and they execute the operation and so on. Well, the challenge of this part is that this problem is not really vehicle routing problems, because in vehicle routing problems or VRP, you require what is called a distance matrix, which means you need to know the time it takes from one place to another place for all pairs of stores. That's not possible to get in Bangkok. If you don't believe me, you can fly to Bangkok and try to, get your way around. You understand me. So what we need to do in this project is to exploit the expertise of some drivers. So the colors that you see on the right-hand side is actually the area of expertise of some driver that they have been driving all their life. It's almost impossible to beat them. But what we optimize really is kind of the shape of these clusters instead, that it should change a little bit depending on the demand and supply of each day. So this problem is actually a clustering or max cut problem, if you like, which is very suitable for quantum computing. So what we do is that we subtract on production, we subtract a few problems, like a few 10 stores, and send it to IBM machine to run on the quantum part. Now, the objective of this setup is not to use the quantum computer to speed up anything, and actually the customer don't really care whether we use quantum or not. They just want to make the delivery. The objective of this experiment is to have an end-to-end production system that you can test your quantum device on. So we have done with the IBM machine, because we are also part of the IBM startup network. But next year, we're going to be launching our collaborations with more than around 3 or 4 countries. We haven't announced yet, but a few people have been interested to benchmark their quantum system in this experiment as well. This one is a paper. It's very basic, like standard quantum algorithm paper, where we work with one of the bank in Thailand on loan collection optimizations. We just write a math model, convert it into QBO, and then it turns out that it would require 600 qubits to solve this problem, but we don't have 600 qubits. So what we did was to use a divide and conquer approach, where we break down the system into a cluster of few 10 qubits and then solve it with QAOA, and then we combine that. So this result have been published in Physical Review Research. And this is, again, classical system, but already in productions. We are working on where to put the quantum part into it. So it's a logistic optimization on CPAC, which is the largest cement transport companies. This is the, again, classical case for biomass transport with EVs. This one is virtual power plant optimization, where we use Fujitsu digital annihilers to optimize some part of the algorithms for the smart grid to incorporate as much as renewable energies into the grid as possible. We're also working on the aviation case, with the air traffic flow management, how to the best way to delay the airplanes in Thailand. This is with working with Air Thai, which is a state enterprise that control all the flights in Thailand. So that's kind of more or less what I would like to share, what we have been doing in Thailand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jiravat. Let me check if there are any questions. I see no questions in the comment box, but I would like to ask you, what do you think is the biggest misconception businesses have about applying quantum optimization today?
Misconception. I think they think of quantum as a something that can solve the problem straight away, just like AI. You get a problem, you take AI, but that's not the real life situation, right? It's like quantum to me is like an engine, a car engine, right? With no seats, no wheels, nothing. So if you just give them the quantum of the engine, then they cannot really do anything with it. What they need is they need to get from A to B actually, and I think that's require a lot of education as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Raghu, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, thanks, Mila. So I've known Jirawat for a while, and we are also
Yes,
trying to find a way to work together.
yes.
So, but then I do have a question, Jirawat, and I think it will be very relevant for a lot of people. Like we have discussed it on one, but I would like you to
Mm,
share how you go and get enterprises as customers, because there are many quantum applications companies in the world, right, who struggle to get these customers.
right,
While you have already presented 3 or 4 cases, I think not all of them are public grants. There are few where
right,
customers are
right.
paying for it. So how do you go about with the sales approach one? And what do the customers ask? Are the customers ready for these kind of applications? So how are you able to close them?
Yes. So I think there are companies like banks that they have R&D team that's starting to get interested in quantum computing and would like to do those like PQC. So I think that's kind of a standard sale approach for quantum computing. So I'm saying that there exists, but the market I think is not very big. The bigger market is actually with the actual problems that the business is facing. So our approach is to first to give a talk in the company first, and then trying to get the C-level to say, okay, this is interesting. Let's explore the use case together, and then let them assign some team to work with us to explore their use case. But I think the key is that I would request that they put an end users into that team as well. So in my experience, if you just work with the R&D team or the IT team, it's not very sustainable, because they will just explore it for a bit and then they will realize that, oh, actually quantum is not that ready yet, and then they stop. So a more sustainable approach to me is if you can do something useful for the end user, the business users, then we are talking. Then they know that we are there to provide some values to them. So I give you an example with the CPAC case. So the CPAC case, I have been very upfront to them that we'll be working on classical first. They want us to explore quantum. I said no. We start with classical first, because the modeling part is very complicated, and the business logic and so on. And then we try to launch this classical model to their operations inside Bangkok, right? and they are very happy with that result, and then they can see really it's improved their operations. But then they want to expand it to many provinces and eventually cover the entire countries. But then they will start to realize that when they expand the scope of optimizations, the digital part become very challenging to solve in the right time. So now they really appreciate that they need the quantum solutions into their pipeline, because kind of that's the only option. We have tried everything we can with the digital part already, and actually they're so interested that they're pushing me right now to join this Fujitsu Quantum Challenge that's coming up this Q4 this year. And yeah, so I think that's how we approach the customer, right?
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing those detailed insights and also the very interesting presentation. With that, I don't see more questions, so we can move to the next speaker. Thank you very much again, Jirawat. Our next speaker is called Yukihisa Tsuruta, the Business Development Director at Semicon. Yukihisa will introduce us to silicon-based quantum with cryo CMOs and the opportunities this approach opens up for scaling and industrial applications. So Yukihisa, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mila, and thank you very much to QBN team for hosting this event and having me today here. I'm going to share my... wait a minute. Yes. Do you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see the presentation.
Great. Great. So, hi everyone. My name is Yuki, Business Development Director at Semicon. We are based in Finland, and actually today we had a bit chilly morning, about 5 degrees Celsius. Probably Raghu-san knows quite well about this autumn weather in Finland. Yes, so today I'd like to give you a quick overview of who we are, what we do, and why our technologies matter. And as you can see from the title of my presentation, we are a hardware company building a silicon-based quantum integrated circuits that contains quantum dot as qubits and cryogenic CMOS for control and readout. So we do not build quantum computers, but we build quantum chips for the quantum computers. Let me start with a company overview. Semicon started its operation in 2023 as a spin out from the VTT Research Center, which is Finland's National Research Institute. In just 2.5 years, we have grown from 4 founders to 25 employees, including 30 engineers and 7 PhDs. I highlight these numbers because spin outs from research institutes are often seen as research-oriented companies. But we are different. We are now transitioning from a research-driven company to a commercially focused business organization. We have raised more than 10 million euro in fundings with strong support from the European Innovation Council. We have filed 8 patents, already delivered over 10 quantum devices, and currently developing over 1,000 quantum dot multiplex devices. This is our team. All the 4 founders are from BTT with different backgrounds. And one highlight in our team is our chair of the board on the left bottom side, Dr. Antti Vasara. So he was CEO of BTT Research Center of Finland until June this year. And he joined us in August. And he also been appointed as a special envoy for technology by the Finnish Foreign Minister recently. So this is a very big advantage for us. So there are many challenges in quantum computing industry. And from our perspective, one of the key challenges is scalability. So companies like IBM and other manufacturers have built fantastic machines over the past few years. But we've noticed a common trend. As qubit counts increase, the machine grows dramatically in size. Once we reach thousands or millions of qubits, it would become unrealistically to build machines in the same way as they do today. So to address this challenge, we focus on silicon. We believe that silicon-based quantum chips offer scalable, cost-efficient, and sustainable solutions. Each technology has its pros and cons. And what we believe in this silicon spin qubit technology is that the quantum dot size qubits are much smaller, and cryo CMOS can be integrated on the same level control and readout. And in addition, quantum dot can be operated at relatively high temperature above 1 Kelvin. So these are the main advantages and reasons why we choose silicon technologies and why we believe in scalability with this technology. Here's our differentiations in our operations. Mainly 3 key differentiators: in-house capability, integrated quantum IC technology, and advanced measurement infrastructure. So first, we design, manufacture, test our product in-house. Unlike most chip makers who outsource production, this enables us to run silicon cycle faster and more cost-effectively, while keeping full ownership of both design and production IP. And this happens thanks to Finnish quantum or semiconductor ecosystem that Finland as a state hosts a fabrication facility, and we have access to the fabrication facility that our operators can be on site and manufacture our chips directly.
Hi, Yuki. Sorry, could you please maybe move to the next slide? We still see the first slide.
Oh, all right. Okay, I'm seeing actually the different slides in my laptop, but
maybe, yeah, I'm not sure which screen you shared. Okay, now we see the change.
Okay, then it's better to show this one. Maybe
Yeah. Thank you.
Presence mode doesn't work. Well, thank you for letting me know.
Thank you.
Yes. Great. So the second point is technologies. So by combining quantum dots as qubit and CRUSH-CMOS as a control and readout makes quantum computer more scalable and cost efficient. Our CRUSH-CMOS is fully optimized for 1 QBN operation with ultra low power consumption. So this can be used even in this superconductor quantum computer and operating in a dilution refrigerator. This doesn't generate much heat. So this can be a good solution for a scalable solution. And third, measurement infrastructure. We have strong measurement infrastructure with 2 cryostats and high-end measurement equipment, and also utilizing our cryogenic CMOS multiplexer, we are able to measure multiple quantum chips simultaneously. So this will also increase our capability in testing. So today we offer 2 solutions for our partners. The first solution is a quantum dot device kit called the SemiKit, which is a ready-to-use quantum research solution. So our partners just plug the SemiKit to the control system and operate quantum chips as they need. And today's SemiKit has only a quantum chip mounted on the board, packaged by a connector and a holder. But in the future, we plan to integrate CRUSH-CMOS as a control and readout in this kit. So this will be more like a sophisticated research kit for our partners. And the second solution is cryogenic CMOS. So as I mentioned, we plan to integrate cryogenic CMOS into our spin qubit chip. But this cryogenic CMOS can also independently work quite well. So CMOS is basically a bunch of transistors. So this can work many kinds of electronics, such as switches, multiplexers, comparators, and amplifiers, and so on. And one of the key technical feature of the cryogenic CMOS is power consumption. So this has 1,000 times less power consumption than traditional electronics, and even 100 times less power consumption than cryogenic CMOS from other manufacturers. So these 2 products are something we can offer to our partners for now. And our operation already have a global reach in just 2.5 years of operations. And most of our partners are in Europe, but we also collaborate with organizations in North America and APAC regions. However, our presence in APAC region is still very limited. So we are very eager to expand our network in this region, and that is why we also joined QBN APAC program. So thank you very much for your attention. We look forward to continuing the conversation and exploring potential collaboration with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. Thank you very much for this excellent overview. How do you see, this is my question, how do you see collaboration between industry and research labs evolving to support the development of silicon-based quantum technologies?
We see still it's like not much advanced in silicon spin qubit technologies. We see that other modalities are more advanced, like superconductor, ion trapped photonics. But we believe that the spin qubit or like silicon-based quantum technology has higher potential, but it's more like longer-term solution. So the challenges we are facing is first to increase the number of qubits, and also to increase the fidelity or quality of the qubit. So that's something a superconductor is heading ahead, but we believe the scalability is with spin qubit, it might be better than other modalities. So that's something we are working on with academia, and we hope the industry will come with us in near future as well.
Thank you very much for this interesting answer. Raghu?
Hey, Yuki-san, thanks for this presentation and overview. Maybe one question, because you are the only hardware company presenting today, right? So question from the perspective of talent, if there are Asian talent who want to work with you, are there any specific skills that you are looking for in terms of roles and to fill?
That's a good question. Well, firstly, we have Asian talents in our company as well. We have only 25 employees, but including me, well, I'm not engineers, but including me, there are 3-4 Asian talents in the company. And I also know that there are many good research institutes in Asia, in APAC regions, researching in also in the spin qubit and also cryogenic CMOS. Yeah, this is very good opportunity for us if we could collaborate with them, and if they are interested in working for us, we are also open the door for like a summer internship program as well. But then difficulty would be in our technology is we need to have both physics, quantum side, and also semiconductor side of the expertise. So that might be something a bit unique aspect in this technology, but I'm sure there are many good trends in APAC region, so we are very welcome to work with them.
Thank you. Thank you both for this. I think that with that, we are ready to move to our final talk. Thank you very much once again, Yuki, for
Thank you very much, Mila.
presentation.
Thank you.
And our final speaker for today is once again Raghu Kodivoyor, this time in his role as CEO of RAX Quantum. Raghu will share how his team is preparing enterprises for the quantum era, a perspective that connects technology to business readiness and adoption. So Raghu, welcome back, and again, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mila. So in this case, right, so I've spoken more on the ecosystem side and what are the opportunities, but also this is a good opportunity for me to present what do we do as RAX Quantum. So we prepare enterprises for the quantum era. So I like the part where Classic was presenting and also where QTFT was presenting, because we help enterprises prepare for quantum era. We see that there is a big gap on demand from enterprises. So there's more supply now, both in terms of hardware, also in terms of applications. But then good or bad, that can be arguable in terms of how the supply side is, but the demand from enterprises is still limited. So we noticed that this is our opportunity, and we took it last year. We are less than a year-old company, funded. We raised some small funds, and we also generate some revenues. So what we do is real-world applications, quantum solutions. So we do look at it in terms of real world. Founded by 3 members, including Professor Rainer Dumke. Many of you would know him from his quantum hardware efforts on superconducting qubits, and Professor Dario Poletti, who heads a cluster for physics, science, mathematics, and technology from Singapore University of Technology and Design, while Rainer Dumke is from Nanyang Tech University. So both of them are experts in their areas, and then me, I've been selling quantum systems for the last 5 years while being commercializing technology for the last 20 years. Through these founders, we also have access to over 20 quantum researchers, all of them super qualified, highly qualified, and who are present in Singapore. So we get this, and then we also have a partner network, which I'll mention. So what does RAX do? In summary, we do, like I think a few other slides, we want to work with enterprises. We want to start with POCs, and we want to generate industry use cases. So this is what we want to do. We feel that from POC, we will be able to get also the longer term projects with enterprises. So number 1 is our bread and butter, but we have noticed that the number 1 is not that common, is not that freely available yet. there are not that much demand from enterprises that they want quantum project. So we have made it into two, and the other revenue streams include the second one, which is training. So just today, I've trained again, I said, I think earlier in the call, about 39 participants and from enterprises who joined us for 2 full days to be trained on quantum AI. It is a certification program jointly delivered with Singapore University of Technology and Design. So anyone who participates who gets this certificate from the university. Next, in 2 weeks' time, we are also delivering the same training at GITEX Dubai, so GITEX Global Dubai. So we have these trainings which we deliver 2 days in person, in certification, like partnership with the university. In Singapore, it is also receiving Skills Future Credit, which is government funding for upskilling of its workforce. So we are one of the only certified quantum delivery partners right now. So this is a tailored program. We can also tailor the program for enterprises if needed, but we do it as a quantum AI and quantum for certain industries training. The third one we also deliver is on the strategy. So we are in discussions with few countries on how they should get started on national quantum strategy. So we discussed earlier on how APAC is so big and then also so diverse, but there are a handful of countries that are very mature on quantum, but others aren't. And we want to help them prepare on their quantum strategy. And we are already in many discussions there, but none signed. And the fourth one is we also help quantum companies globally if they want any support on APAC. So here we have already a couple of customers whom we have helped in getting new customers in different markets. Like for example, with one of the companies, they wanted partnerships in US and they wanted partnership in India, and we delivered that to them, including with listed companies in the US. With the other companies, we are in discussions whether we can help them in specific markets on getting them more business partners or in some cases also customers. So treat us as your feet and leg or foot on the ground where we can help you get new customers. And why are we able to do that together with our team, also with the co-founders? We have been selling in Asian market for quantum solutions for a long time. So we do know everyone who's interested in quantum, or being in Singapore, we also get a lot of inbound requests for partnership. So we should be able to help you in that. And we can also help you with public tendering, because most of this procurement happens with public tendering process. I personally have been involved in many tendering processes for hardware. So we also bring in that kind of expertise, not just in terms of connections, but also in terms of public procurement. So now going back to number one, the first offering, which is the enterprise solution. So how do we do that? So we do follow both the approaches on quantum inspired and quantum algorithms. We have seen this as an opportunity that quantum inspired is a bridge between the current AI to quantum algorithms. And enterprises seem to be liking this idea because they see that, okay, there is something tangible that we can deliver with tensor networks approach in the short term, while we can also migrate some of those like say the logic around superposition, and some algorithms can also be extended beyond tensor networks in the future. In our training also, we do train the participants both on quantum AI, quantum inspired, as well as quantum algorithms. And the enterprises seem to be liking this approach of offering the solution. And how do we work? So these are typically the 18-month project where we work with enterprises first on the quantum inspired strategy. Then we deliver some proof of concept with quantum inspired, and eventually then we slowly take them towards quantum algorithms. In this case, we are not looking, again, as many speakers have said, we don't plan to do it on our own. So we do plan to have different partners, different offerings. So if any of your products are suitable for this particular approach, we'll be more than happy to collaborate. We'll be more than happy to be a licensed resellers and so on. So we see the big money coming in on the second and third phase, which is a quantum inspired and quantum readiness journey. Our trainings, as I said, also focus on this, where we start with mastering AI to quantum inspired solutions to quantum algorithms. Our objective at the end is to obviously give a certificate, but also look at it in a way whether we can start the POC projects with customers, proof of concepts, and that's where we work with them. Our strengths, many, some of them includes we know the governments really well in the region in this particular phase. Also in Europe, you might remember that you will need to get a lot of public funding or approvals from the government before you can work together. So here we help our partners also secure some government funding with grants and also other programs. We know the quantum companies really well. We know the academia exceptionally well. With many of them, our co-founders and researchers are already working together. And we also know quite a few of the ecosystem enablers like the startup teams and so on, infrastructure teams, and also some of the investors. So we do have these connections which we have been building over the last couple of decades individually, and now we bring all of them together as racks. Yeah, that's our journey. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer. And if not, I'm happy to stay connected also after the session. Over to you, Mila.
Thank you so much for this another interesting presentation. I do have two questions for you. So the first one would be, what do you see as the first steps that enterprises should take today to start preparing for quantum technologies, even if they are not ready yet to deploy them?
You should send an email to me or call me on this number. That is the absolute first step now. But then on a serious note, I think the way we recommend to enterprises is if it's an enterprise with zero quantum talent, we ask them to participate in our training or any other training on quantum AI or quantum, just to get a feel of what does it mean. The second step we say is to start thinking about a center for quantum technology, like center for quantum expertise or center of excellence for quantum. So we ask enterprises to start setting that up or thinking about it. So before that, maybe also create their own quantum plan or quantum strategy. So the steps will be to start looking at upskilling the current workforce, thinking about center of excellence for quantum, and then start with the POC, and then finally with the real quantum applications. But it is a long-term game. So quantum, what we do recommend to enterprises is that it is a long-term investment. So we ask them to be patient. But for short term, quantum inspired is a beautiful approach which we like because you can show short-term results, like many of the speakers have also mentioned. So we do deliver some of the results with quantum inspired approach, which ensures that the businesses are happy with the results.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. This was very interesting overview of the steps. I do have a second question about what are the most common misconceptions you encounter in enterprises when they start thinking about adopting quantum technologies?
I think more than misconception, they are overwhelmed. They are overwhelmed. I think as business leaders, all of us have complicated quantum so much that people have no idea where to get started. They end up with superconducting to semiconductors to anything, silicon to anything. So there is so much information available that it is so complicated that they just get scared. So one, I would say, misconception that it is too expensive. That is one of the misconceptions. We should clarify that not everyone needs to buy a quantum system. But the second one is definitely we should simplify the communication part of it as the entire quantum network, not just us, but each one of us. We need to simplify it, saying, guys, there are companies like QTFT or partners like Classic who can help you accelerate your adoption of quantum.
Yeah, totally. This makes sense. Thank you very much. I mean, every stakeholder has its role in this process, but also you, with your company, also have a big role, I would say. So, yeah, thank you very much. Does anyone else have any further questions? I see no hands raised. So, yeah, thank you again, Raghu. With that, I would like to thank all of our speakers again for their excellent talks and, of course, all of you joining us today live on YouTube and here on Zoom. This session has really shown just how dynamic and diverse the Asia Pacific quantum landscape is and how much potential there is for collaboration across regions. With the launch of the QBN APAC chapter, we are creating new opportunities to connect APAC and Europe, and I hope that today gave you some ideas that you can take forward for inspiration. I would like to also give you a quick reminder. The recording will be available on our YouTube channel very soon. I would like to invite you to subscribe and feel free to share the recording, of course, with your colleagues and your network. And if you would like to continue the conversation, also please make sure to contact us via our contact form on the QBN website. With that, I would like to officially close today's session. Thank you once again. I wish you a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing all of you in our next upcoming quantum leadership session in October.
Thank you all, and thanks, Mila, for organizing this.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.